Hi everyone, it's Romain and you're watching Join. Today I'm at La Défense in the British American Tobacco's offices to talk about career opportunities, hiring process and onboarding for young talents at British American Tobacco and also a GGP's program. So if you want some tips to join and succeed in your first weeks at BAT, you're at the right place. And to discuss about it, let me introduce you my three guests of today, Elena, Carolina and Ellie. Hi everyone.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Thank you for inviting me in your offices. Really nice place. So Elena, your HR business partner. Could you please just sum up in few words what is your role at BAT?
So as Romain already said, I'm HR business partner. So basically I would describe it as a first point of contact for all employees within BAT France. So no matter if you have questions concerning recruitment, your personal development, everyone would come first to me and then I would see how I could support.
Perfect. And you're gonna give to the students some tips,
exactly.
some HR tips to join BAT. There's Ellie. Good morning, Ellie.
Hi, Romain. So I'm Ellie. I'm a global graduate at BAT France. I've been a global graduate at BAT for 9 months now. I've done one rotation in strategic planning and insights, and I'm now in the brand activation team.
Perfect. And you give us some tips as an insider at BAT for our students. And there's Carolina.
Yeah, last but not least, there's myself. So I'm Carolina, I'm head of digital. So basically we're in charge in everything related to e-commerce and digital activation for BAT France. I've been in BAT for over 10 years, so I will for sure give you a lot of tips.
Perfect, thank you. And fun fact to begin, you all three started with as an intern at BAT.
Yes,
so
we did.
A long story for you three at BAT. I'm going to start with Carolina to pitch us what is BAT. Just a quick challenge for you. Is it possible for you to pitch us BAT in less than 1 minute?
I'll try so. So BAT, it's a company that has been around for over 120 years. We're here to offer consumers a better tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But what does it mean? It's offering less enjoyable but less risky products for them to actually get into a proper consumption. Actually, our head offices are based in London, and here we are in the Paris offices, we're the end market, as we call it. Actually, France, it's a very important market because we're in the spotlight for everything that is these less risky products worldwide. So that's why to be in France, it's a place to be.
Perfect. Less than 1 minute. Perfect. Challenge accepted.
Excellent.
You are different offices in Paris, in London, and where also?
Yeah, actually, we have presence worldwide.
Okay.
So here, France, it's what we call end market.
Okay.
And we're part of an area that it's called ENWEA. That actually it's based in London, and we have that cluster. It's Belgium, Luxembourg, the Nordics, the UK, and France is part of it.
Perfect. Elena, could you tell us what position BAT recruits for young talents?
So actually, currently we have roughly 220 employees,
okay.
So working here in the office in La Défense, but also on the field. And we're actually always on the lookout for new talent. So this either being it for permanent positions, for internship positions, or global graduate here in marketing. And even if, of course, the recruitment process is different for each position, in the end, what really matters to us is that we find people that embody our company values, which we call our ethoses. And in the end, really are motivated to join our transformation journey.
And we're going to talk about fitting between applicants and BAT. We're going to make a focus on GGP programs, and we are beginning with you, Ellie, because you're currently making a GGP at BAT. What does it mean to be a GGP at BAT?
So the GGP is BAT's Global Graduate Programme, which is what we call our fast-track management training programme. Mm-hmm. So the programme's 18 months long, and you do 3 different rotations in different teams. So I'm on the Marketing Global Graduate Programme, which is the only one we hire for here in France. However, in different end markets, there are other programmes, for example, in finance or human resources. The idea is that when you do the global graduate in marketing is that you get a holistic experience of the marketing function in BAT. So, for example, I've done a rotation in strategic planning and insights. Now I'm in brand activation. And then one thing that makes the Global Graduate Programme at BAT really stand out is that following 1 year in your end market, you'll do 6 months international assignment. So my colleague Lorenzo, he's currently on his international assignment in London, and we're expecting some global graduates from other end markets to come to France soon.
It's really interesting. Did you have an idea of the job that you want to make just before making the GGP program? Or is there a kind of research for looking for job? I don't know if you are looking, if you have an idea before making the GGP program.
So I actually started as an intern in Spain with British American Tobacco, and I absolutely loved the company, so I knew that I wanted to come back. But when I started applying for graduate roles, I really realised how strong the GGP is compared to other programs because of this opportunity to do different rotations, because of the international assignment, and really because of the responsibility that you do get from day one. And really everyone gives a lot of importance to the GGP within the company.
Perfect. I will talk to you, Elena. What you're looking for concerning the applicants of GGP's program?
So I would actually say that the recruitment process for the GGs is quite unique. So the candidates have to go through different stages. So once they apply online, there's an online assessment, which I would say is like a cognitive questions that they have to answer to. Afterwards, there's a video interview, and then we invite the candidates to our assessment center. So usually I would say we invite up to 6 candidates. This was also the case of Ellie a couple of months back. And the candidates spend an entire day here in the office together with us as GGs and assessors. And during the day, the candidates have to work, let's say, on a fictional business case, and they have different exercises. And I would say what is really important of this assessment center is not only for us as a company to evaluate the candidates, but also for the candidates to meet us, to meet our current GGs, to ask questions, to get kind of the feeling of our office.
To see the haters, like you say before.
Exactly, yeah, and then really assess, could they really imagine working with us in the team?
Are there some prerequisites to join BAT at the GG?
Yeah, so in theory, worldwide, the prerequisites are quite similar. So we're always looking for people that graduated already, that have some relevant experience in the past, so for example as an internship or several ones, and in the end, as I said before, it's really the mindset that matters.
Perfect. A fit between applicants and BAT. Carolina, as an assessor during the hiring process, what are the strengths of GGP AC?
Wow. So actually, whenever we're doing the assessment process, so just to illustrate a bit more in detail, what are you guys going to be facing during that day? So basically, you have 4 stages. First stage, it would be a group exercise where you guys will get the chance to develop a bit on the business case that Elena was mentioning before. The second stage would be more a face-to-face presentation that you will be doing to the assessors, and we will be ending up with a one-to-one interview where we will be actually looking for that cultural fit and that match that we have with our corporate values. At the end, you guys will get the chance to give us feedback, and also we will give you a call with the feedback of your respective sessions for this not to also help you for the role that you're looking for in BT, but also for your future applications in other roles and so on, because as Elena said, this is about the experience and how this can help you onwards in your career.
Perfect. And on which details do you focus during this hiring process?
Yes, so for me, what I look the most is for people to be themselves, for them to be relaxed, and for them to show what we call the true colors. Because at the end, you need to be, you have one shot for you to make it right. So this is your shot in order for you to show us what you're made of. The second one is for you to be speaking of. If you're thinking of something but you don't properly verbalize it, how would we know what you're thinking of? So it's very important. It seems obvious, but it's very important. And last but not least, in my particular case, I look for someone that could be fitting the shoes of my future boss. So as we said, this is a fast-paced management program. So that's why you guys need to be portraying yourself into what could be that journey within BAT, and that's what I'm particularly looking for.
And maybe do you have some tips for stressed people during assessments?
For stress, I haven't gone through the assessment, so I think that Ellie would better give us tips on how did you manage your...
So I would say I've got two pieces of advice.
Yeah.
One is to really manage your energy levels. So it's a tough and challenging process, but it is enjoyable. So really enjoy it, try get the most out of it. And if you've got that far in the assessment process, you're fully capable of doing a good job in the assessment centre. And as Elena said, it's more of like a fit and getting your best self across. So my second piece of advice was before the assessment centre, think about how you want to come across to the interviewers. Think about maybe 5 key adjectives, 5 things that they want to remember about you. It's all about sort of personal branding. So also think about maybe your CV and your best pieces of experience that you definitely want to mention. And then even if you're stressed, you just go back to those thoughts. Okay, how do I want to come across? I want to come across as these things, and just make it happen.
Okay, perfect. So preparation, be prepared. Okay, perfect. And yes, because I always remember that you have a bit, a kind of not weird experience, but not like the other, because you applied during COVID. How was it?
So my application was online because of COVID, which made it a bit different, but it was still enjoyable. It was very different because I was sort of at home doing the assessment centre rather than in the office. However, we recently had an assessment centre and it was really nice to see that we're going back to sort of normal routines, and I actually had the opportunity to meet the people going through the assessment, which was really nice to be able to have a chat with them and sort of calm their nerves, show them that I've been through it and they can definitely do it.
Okay, so we have to give some tips for the hiring process. Let's talk about the onboarding process. Elena, I will begin with you. Could you share some details about the onboarding process?
Yeah, sure. So actually we just revamped our onboarding process last year. And now the onboarding process is divided into three steps. So the first one is kind of the pre-onboarding stage. So let's say we're hiring someone, the contract is signed. Then the manager would send out like a welcome email containing like the roadmap of the first weeks within the company, some information about the new team, when the person will meet the new manager, etc. And once the person is actually joining us on board, there are different activities that take place. So for example, there's an office tour where the person will meet all the people from the different departments. There will be a team lunch organized. We have a meet and greet session with our general manager, and we also have 2 days which are really dedicated for induction sessions.
Okay.
So this is kind of, I would call the deep dive induction session. So a whole day where the different departments present themselves, their challenges, their activities. And then there's of course loads of goodies that we also share with our new joiners. Yeah. And then I would say the last step, which is really important for us within HR, let's say, is kind of, let's say, within the first 2 months, we have a dedicated catch-up session. So the HR business partner, so this could be my colleague Gillian or myself, with the new joiner to just see how things are going, if the person has any challenges, any questions. And also, which is really important for us, when you come from outside, you still have this out-of-the-box thinking. And this is really important to us.
To have some feedbacks.
Exactly, bring some new ideas on how to improve certain processes, etc. So yeah. I would say that's it.
Elio, did you feel your onboarding process at BAT? It was a bit special due to COVID, but it will be easier because I think that there's buddies and so on for GDP.
Yeah, so I started in September, so unfortunately it was starting from home. But even with starting from home, I got this really nice warm welcome from everyone in the company. So before I started, I got an email from my new manager welcoming me to the team, explaining sort of how the first weeks would go. Then in my first couple of weeks, I had inductions with pretty much every single team in BAT France, including the field force. So I got to know a lot of people. I got to know how the different functions work together. I understood sort of the different job roles. But it's really nice to see that the HR department has worked on this onboarding process, and especially with us coming back to the office, coming back to this amazing new office, that we can really welcome people in person. But going back to your point, so as well as this amazing onboarding experience, as a GG, we also have a buddy, a mentor and a coach. So your buddy is pretty special because it's someone that's recently finished the Global Graduate Programme. So they've been through basically everything that you're going through now. So you can reach out to them if you have any doubts with basically anything to do with the programme, but also things personally. And then the coach and the mentor are sort of higher up in the organisation. And they're there to sort of have chats with you about your career development, give you advice, sort of talk to you about your rotations, how you see your future. And it's actually a really valuable asset to have, I think, especially sort of as you're first starting out your career. I think something that also makes it very interesting is we've mentioned the fast pace of BAT careers. So my coach was in BAT France.
Okay.
Now he's based in London, but it's really interesting now to still have that rapport with him, to see how our business works from a different end market, see how sort of what similarities and what differences there are.
Yeah, are there some groups of GGs in BAT? I heard about GGP Academy.
Yep. So we actually have throughout the whole GG program, there are a few challenges with different GGs across different markets. So I already have a good relationship with some global grads that I haven't even met in person yet. However, there's also the Global Grad Academy. That's a really exciting time for anyone in their GGP. So it's 2 weeks of sort of getting to know everyone, all the other GGs across the whole worldwide company. With talks from key persons at BAT, with really exciting information that you learn about the different products, about the factories, about the strategy of the company, and you get to meet all of the GGs from across the world, so it's a really exciting time.
Perfect. Girls, to conclude, what makes difference to work for BAT France? We're going to begin with Ellie.
So I love working for BAT because really because of the people. So I know it sounds super cheesy, but I've worked in 3 different offices now in Madrid, London and Paris, and you see very much the same type of person at BAT. It's a very international company to work in. Everyone's very open, everyone's so friendly, and you know that sort of when you get this feeling that you can go up to anyone and ask for help, you can go up to anyone and ask sort of to go to a drink after work. Everyone's super friendly, and that's why I love working for BAT.
Perfect. Elena?
Well, I would actually say exactly the same. So I started as an intern in Switzerland, then I moved to do the global graduate program in Germany, and now I'm here in France for roughly 2 years. And you really see this same team spirit no matter where you go. So doors are always open for answers, for questions, etc. And on top, I would say here for France, which is quite special for us, we currently are within our new office building. So we moved end of last year. And here the new office building is really equipped according to our ethos. So you see our ethos throughout the entire office. You have spaces to mingle, for example, our social hub. So this is where we're sitting right now.
Really nice place. Really nice place.
Exactly. And
Really
it's
cool
kind of the place where we meet, where we have lunch together and just have a good time, I would say.
Perfect. Carolina, to conclude.
Yes, I cannot leave the people aside, so as well, the people in BAT were amazing, but I think that what I would rescue the most is at first it's a very fast-paced learning curve that you will be getting. So from day one, you will start on learning and developing yourself, not only in the professional side, that's obvious, but also on the personal side. And you will be having the proper support group all across. So people are truly dedicated to make you a better person in the future, a better manager, a better professional. So that's something that I truly appreciate. The fast pace also, you can see that in the career. So in my experience, I've been in BAT for 10 years, but I've been in, 10 different roles and 4 different markets. So I started in BAT Venezuela, then I went to Costa Rica, then I went to Colombia, and now since a couple of years ago, I've been in BAT France. So I can confirm that you get the chance to have an international career, and the possibilities depends on you. So as much as you want to grow, as much as you want to move, as much as you're willing to develop yourself, the possibilities are endless for you.
Perfect. We're going to finish with you, Elena. Where can the applicants apply?
So if you want to join BAT, then why don't you check our career portal? Or if not, of course, we also have all our positions of Job Teaser.
On Job Teaser. Okay. Thank you, girl, for your invitation and your tips for the students. Thank you again.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. I know that you have all the keys in mind. You have all the necessary to succeed at BAT. So see you soon for another join, obviously, on Job Teaser.